Hey everyone, Sawmill Charlie here. We're out in the bee yard today. It's February the 12th and it's about 55 degrees. So we're going to try to check our nukes for feed on the top that I've given them about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Some of them have sugar shims on them, and some of them I've given some fondant, and we're going to check on food levels and also give them maybe a quarter strip of pollen substitute. So the first hive we're going to get into is a poly hive. I was in there yesterday for the first time and see whether or not that they had any food reserves. They seem to have some. I did give them a piece of fondant and also a small strip of pollen, and I'm just curious to see how much they've ate over the last 24 to 48 hours. Alright, we're going to get into this poly hive here and see what has taken place over the last 24 hours. See whether or not they've started eating on the pollen patties that I put in, and also some fondant. And there's the bees and there's the pollen patty. They look like they're going after it, and I would say we don't need to really add anything more to this hive at this time. This green thing here is, if you don't know it, is license inner cover, which really all it is a propolis trap. So we're going to go ahead and put the cover back on. This polystyrene hive has 1.5 inch thick walls of insulation, and I'm trying to see whether or not the bees will actually survive in it a lot better. So let's move on to the next hive. Alright, we're in this next box. It does have a sugar shim on it that I put on here several days ago. It has the 1.5 inch hardware cloth on the bottom, so I'm going to raise it up and I'm going to try to put this piece of pollen substitute underneath of it. It does have a 1/4 inch gap underneath of it, and there's the bees. Yes, they are in there. I'm going to go ahead and put this on, close the hive back up. Very quickly. See whether or not we can get the sugar shim back up in there. And yes, it does fit with the little bit of pollen underneath of it. So that should work very well. And I'll put my inner cover back on, telly cover, and we're done with that hive. Okay everyone, this one here we put a pollen patty on. I'm going to put a sugar shim on that has the hardware cloth that has the sugar is completely exposed, so the bees can go right to it. There we have it. We'll put the inner cover on, and the telly, it all fits together quite well, and we'll put the lid on here just in a couple minutes. Alright everyone, here we have a hive that's got plenty of sugar in it. I want to go ahead and put this piece of pollen substitute in there, give them a little something to, some protein. So we're going to go ahead and put the lid back on, and we'll shut it back up. And on to the next. Alright, let's open this hive up, check on the sugar, and I'll try to add some pollen patty to this. And the bees are alive. I want to go ahead and put a pollen patty in right up here. Prop it up on top of the burr comb. I have some extra sugar brick here. I'm just going to lay that in there. And that's pretty much it. And close it right back up. Alright, let's get into this hive here. And there's the bees. We have plenty of bees, and they could use some sugar and a pollen patty. I'm going to go ahead and put the pollen patty about right there on top of some of that burr comb. I'm going to put some pieces of sugar. Kind of knock them out of the way. And they should be good to go for quite a while. Let's button them back up. Okay, let's get into another one here. Take the lid off, inner cover. There'll be some bees on there. Lay that over here so they don't get sparse. They do have some sugar. I'm going to go ahead and put a pollen patty right up on top of the sugar there. I've got some more sugar bricks here. I believe that's go with that. It doesn't look like it's going to fit. There. Fits now. Close it back up and we're done. Alright, let's open up another one here. And there's nice bunch of bees in there. I'm going to go ahead and put this pollen patty in. I'm going to lay it right here on top of the comb. Go ahead and put some sugar bricks in. Or pieces actually, where some of my stuff is broke up. So that should do. Go ahead and close them up. We set that down a little bit. There we go. And it's ready to go. Okay, let's go open another hive up. Another nuke actually. Some bees on inner cover. We do have some sugar in there. I'm going to put a pollen patty pad in. I'm going to go ahead and put some more sugar in just to make sure that they have enough. Put that right up here. Maybe put the pollen patty right in there. Alright, let's close it back up. And there we go. Alright, I've opened up this hive here. It has plenty of sugar in it. I'm going to go ahead and just lay that pad too happy with me, I can tell you that much. Close them back up. And we'll put the lid on there. Alright everyone, I've got the lid off of this hive here. I like to take and pull the paper off as much as possible when it comes to pollen patties. I find that it lets the bees get right to it and start eating it. Let's see what this hive looks like. Well, there's a nice group of bees. There's plenty of sugar there. I'm just going to lay that right in the middle. Cover them right back up. Put the lid back on. Alright, let's open up the basically last hive that we have here today that we need to check. Ooh, look at all those bees. I'm not too happy with them either. I'm going to go ahead and put some pollen patty in there. Real gentle like. And I'm going to add some sugar brick. One more piece, hopefully. Try not to smash any bees. And I think that's enough for them. And there we go. As you saw, all the nukes are alive and well, and now all the hives have a small piece of pollen patty to help the bees raise brood. And they all either have a sugar shim, sugar brick, or fondant to help keep the bees from starving. I would say that I won't have to get into these hives for at least 2 weeks. I hope that you enjoyed going through the hives with me today. So until next time, please like, subscribe, and have fun with your bees.